turn back to each of you now for any final closing remarks you'd like to share with our attendees, maybe a key nugget to have them keep in mind, or just any final words you'd like to share. Martin, since you started, we'll begin with you.
So, again, the upshot of what we talked about today is that class certification is a very important moment in a securities litigation. If you don't win the motion to dismiss and you get a class certified, the client is facing tens of millions, hundreds of millions, perhaps billions of dollars in potential liability. And even if you believe the case is strong, the cost to litigate and the risk may drive a settlement that's otherwise not merited by the strength of the case. So it's very important to focus the client, if they're inexperienced in this area, and yourselves and your experts on the energy to try and defeat class certification if it's possible. The Supreme Court has narrowed the grounds for defeating class certification, and the real focus is to be on defeating the presumption of reliance under 23b3. To get there, you need to be very careful how you present your evidence of price impact. If it looks like you're arguing that the statements are simply the kinds of statements no shareholder would have relied on, or that they just are so generic that they would never move the price, which is another way of saying that, a court is likely to think that what you're doing is trying to re-argue materiality from the motion to dismiss or get a preview of materiality at summary judgment, and they're going to say under the Supreme Court's precedent that's not appropriate for class certification. Similarly, if what you're arguing is that the stock price didn't go down as a result of the misrepresentation, that other things led to the stock price going down, or that some other disclosure was where the price went down, that's the confounding factors that Yingzhen talked about. Those go more to loss causation than price impact. Price impact is, did the stock price move as a result either of the alleged misstatements being brought to the public's knowledge, or at the time that the fraud was inserted into the stock, either by maintaining the price by not saying something, or saying something that led to the stock staying up, or by saying something that led to the stock going up. So it's a very thin slice of the salami at this point. And until the Supreme Court weighs in again to really delineate between price impact, materiality, and loss causation, you need to very carefully structure your arguments.
Excellent. Thank you so much to Martin for being with us. Yingzhen, any final closing remarks you'd like to share?
Yes. So the main things is that Halliburton 2 allows defendants now to rebut the presumption by showing no price impact, and traditional event studies may naturally come into mind that can do that kind of analysis. But as I showed you in the talk, there were limitations, there were challenges to traditional event studies, and those are important things to keep in mind when we design the economic analysis. The other thing is that there were several ways to improve the overall analysis, by looking at intraday stock price, controlling for confounding events, accounting for the volatility fluctuations. Those will allow you or the experts to zoom in the price impact of misrepresentation or corrective disclosure more precisely, like looking at that moment, that 5 minute, 10 minute, rather than looking at day-to-day change price.